Hello guys, this is Avenger725 and welcome back to the channel for another episode of Leagues of Doom. Today we're going to be making a ton of signings and actually moving forward with the first game of the season. As we're just getting started, thank you guys for tuning in again to this channel and I appreciate your interest in the channel. Now, we're going to take a look at the objectives for the season first. There's not much to look at here. The board has very low expectations for us. I'm hoping we can exceed them. They just want us to reach the round of 16 for the FA Cup and reach Europe within 3 seasons, which I will try to do in the first season. We will have a tough competition in the league considering it's top 4 teams from the top 4 leagues in Europe, top 5 leagues, pardon me. But I think we can do it even though we're going to be playing on Legendary the whole time. So yeah, now we take a look at our finances, which is the transfer budget is looking nice. It's around 110 million. We will be spending most of our budget in this video and we'll be selling a couple of players as is expected from the transfer window. The wage budget and the transfer budget is split 80 to 20 right now, and for some reason in the episode, as you guys will see, it will change to something on its own. And now I go to buy some players. First one is El Shaarawy, but Roma do not have enough depth in their squad, so unfortunately we will not be getting him in our team. Next up, we go and try to negotiate a deal for AC Milan Suso on the right wing, but they offer us him for around 52 million, which I think is too much at this point for us, so we'll be backing out of these negotiations without any fruitful result. Next, I think of this guy, Callum Hudson-Odoi, who's been brilliant for Chelsea this last season, and I'll be considering him for a left wing position. Then we add a couple of players to our list: Pulisic, Sancho, and Fabian, Kondogbia, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Casey from AC Milan, who's on loan, as I should have seen here, but I don't. We add Kylian Trippier and Zappacosta to our scouted list. Then I'm just looking for a potential second choice goalkeeper, and we look at Jan Oblak's pricing there. He's priced 89.5 million, which is absolutely insane. Then I go over to FIFA to check out a potential second choice goalkeeper, and I see Pickford's value over there is 10 million. So I check him out at FIFA, he's 30 million. So I guess we're not buying him anymore. And then we just look at a couple of other keepers. I'm just looking for someone who could be my second choice. And we see a couple of good keepers there, but nothing too special, nothing that I'm actually willing to spend money on, because they're either too old by this point or too expensive. And there's our legend Petr Cech, shout out to him for his comeback to Chelsea now. And then I just go around and I take a look at my current roster, and I'm looking at my defenders and my right backs and centre backs. They're not looking too good because none of them are very high rated. The top one is I think 80. We have 2. One is a centre back, the other one is a left back, Halstenberg, who recently got the Tots card in Ultimate Team. From there I'm just going to transfer list some players, loan out, or put some players on loan, because we're probably going to need the cash to make some really good signings for this season if we're actually going to be competing against the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid in the Premier League. And if you guys don't know, we're playing the Leagues of Doom, which is again top 4 teams from each league, from top 5 leagues in Europe based on the last season in the Premier League together. So our league is going to be a very difficult one this season, especially considering the fact that I'm going to be playing it on Legendary the whole time. And there we just list Ilsanker, who's going to be sold in this episode to Wolfsburg for around 8 million, which is not too much I guess, but still, we need the money, so we'll sell the players we are not going to use. And then we move down and take a look at some other midfielders that our team has. There's Kevin Campbell, there's Bruma, there's Forsberg. Forsberg is actually going to receive a couple of transfer offers in this video, as you guys will see. There's a Sabitzer as well, but I haven't played him really that much in a squad till now. We've only played like 2 games and same 3 games in preseason. And there's Timo Werner, who's actually going to be our star player this season, as I'm hoping. But as I look down here, I have 4 strikers, only one of whom seems to be eligible to start in our team. And we have a left winger who's a prospect. He's not ready for first team action yet, but I might just have to play him as a second choice left wing, as you guys will see in a couple of seconds, because we're going to be actually buying a very good young left winger who isn't rated too high on FIFA, I'll admit that, but he can be a terrific signing for us. And I'm looking for a backup striker for Timo Werner now, because we do not have one, and I scout Cutrone from AC Milan. I also look at Kevin Gamero, who's 31. His value is also decent, he's also experienced, he has very good traits. And I also see Giroud there, but we're not going to go for him. And there's the Juventus wonder kid, Moise Kean, who has scored some really crucial goals for Juventus in the last season. There we just received a transfer offer from Chelsea for Timo Werner for 54 million. As you guys can see there, we rejected one from Paris Saint-Germain for around 52. Now Chelsea offer 54. But I'm thinking of keeping Werner in my team, and he's part of my plans for a very strong season because he's a very pacey and young striker. So I'm going to be rejecting this offer, and I'm going to keep him in my team. So we reject that offer, but not straight away. We're going to try to negotiate, because if offered for the right amount, I'm willing to let Werner go, because we can probably afford a better striker. So I think I countered them with around 70 million here, and they reject. They come up with something like 50-ish, but we're not gonna take that. We need the money. Show us the money, baby, and take what you want. But they will not accept it, so they don't get it. That's what happens at Red Bull Leipzig. That's how it works. If you want something, you gotta show us the money, or you just leave. There's the door. And the one thing that I really like about this FIFA is there's just like no actual reality of what the transfers will look like. Because if you like stall someone or do something, they're just like, okay, the deal ends right there. No handshake, no nothing. It's like boom. Okay. And now we're back to our transfer hub. These are the players that we have scouted. Our scout report just came back. As you guys can see, all the players that I mentioned in the commentary, they're back now with almost done scout report. And then we received this offer for a right back, Klosterman from Besiktas. They're offering 14 million, and I kind of screwed this one up because it's probably not going to be my first choice. And we try to negotiate the deal, and I try countering them with double his value, almost double his value, and they say, like just like yesterday, they just get angry and they leave right out the gate. There's no second chances here. This is a ruthless FIFA Career mode. I mean, I haven't played in the last two editions, so I'm not really familiar with what's going on. But earlier you could offer any sum and get like an actual response. This time it's just like, nah, it's over fam, you ain't getting anything. So there you guys see the offer that I was talking about for Ilsanker from Wolfsburg. I just come in, and we end up selling him for around 8 million, which is nice considering we weren't going to use him anyway. I countered her for 8 million, and it's done. So that's 8 million more for a transfer budget. It's not much, but I think it's what we will end up getting Hudson-Odoi for. So it's a fair trade in my opinion. Also, moving on. So as you guys can see, I am now going to be looking for a good midfielder. Thomas Delaney, who is brilliant in Ultimate Team. I've played with him a lot of games. Fabinho is as well. Fernandinho of course is. Kante, Henderson, all of them are class midfielders. But, okay, maybe not Henderson. But we don't have enough money to buy them all, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna scrolling. What do we see here? What is this, FIFA? What is this? We see Thanos. We finally know what Thanos looks like in his human form. He even has a last name, Thanos Petsos. Oh my god, we've been fooled this entire time. He's still living amongst us. Anyway, moving on. There's Lucas Torreira, looking all nice and fresh, all young, and he's around 82, I guess. I think, why not go after Torreira? We scout him. And then we get a lot of emails from our scouts who are scouting players, and now we are ready to go into the transfer market and buy all the players that we were scouting. Next up, we're going to go and do mark business, but we get an offer from Emil Forsberg for Manchester United, and we're going to counter with something more. As you guys know me by now, I'm always going to counter with something more because I'm not willing to let players go for very cheap. And I counter with an offer, but they refuse, so I'm going to reject this one straight away. We don't shake hands, we don't do nothing, just goodbye. And then the scout reports come in. All the players that we were scouting for our transfers, they've just come in, the data on them. So now we move into negotiations. First up is Callum Hudson-Odoi, who will end up joining our Red Bull Leipzig for around 8 million, which I think is a very good deal, but his overall is pretty low for first team starter, so we might just have to get someone who can actually be in the starting 11. And then we buy Jadon Sancho from Dortmund. He will be our most expensive signing this season, which I actually don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because he's quite young. But we do end up getting him for around 45.2 million pounds. Then Fabian is not for sale because he just joined Napoli. And next up we have our Chelsea boy Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who will be joining the club on $18 million, not pounds, because I said dollars as the currency. Next up we go for Cutrone from AC Milan as our backup striker to Timo Werner, and we end up paying him for 25.2 million. And just to be safe, just to prevent us from the risk of injuries, we're going to take a third choice striker in Moise Kean, the wonder kid from Juventus, for $10.1 million. And there you can see our transfer market so far for the club. It's been busy. We've received some offers, and we've bought 5 players. 4 of whom are attackers, only 1 is in the midfield. We have not invested in any defender so far, but we might just have to, because apparently our left back is soon going to be sold to AS Roma, if I'm not wrong, for around 30 million. And I start to remove players from our transfer targets who we're not going after. Just as we see here, we receive an offer from Manchester City for 52 million for Timo Werner. I wonder why they want to buy him. If you guys missed it, they just sold Gabriel Jesus to Real Madrid. That's why they're buying him. There's Pep himself. I'm thinking, City got the cash, right? They can spare some money. So I countered them, and guess what? They refuse. Well, I don't think anyone has money in this game, because nobody accepts my counters. And then we look at our remaining transfer budget, which is not very much. We will not be able to sign a whole lot of players, judging from what we have here right now, but I'm hoping we can do it. And then we get an email saying we should move if we want to get Kieran Trippier, who I really want to get, but we probably won't because we don't have the money at this point. And we'll end up accepting this offer for a second choice goalkeeper. Will be on his way to Hoffenheim. And there we get the offer from Roma for Halstenberg, who will end up going to Roma after I negotiate with them a deal for 30 million. Next up, we are going to advance and we move closer to our first game against Borussia Dortmund in the Premier League. And yes, you guys heard that right. It's the Premier League with the top 4 teams from each league in Europe. Then we get a second transfer offer for Emil Forsberg from Chelsea. And again, we are going to reject the offer straight away because I don't want to sell him. I have him in my plans for the first season. Here's just a summary of what a transfer season looks like so far. We've had 3 offers for Timo Werner, 2 for Forsberg, and a couple of others. And we move into our first game against Borussia Dortmund. But before that, we're going to arrange the team in the 4-3-3 attacking formation. That is my style of play. Timo Werner will be leading the attack up front as the striker, and Jadon Sancho on the right wing, Hudson-Odoi on the left. I'm going to give Ruben Loftus-Cheek his first start of the season 2 in this game. Cutrone will be in the subs if we need to sub him on for some reason. And the only one not getting a start will be Moise Kean. who was signed as a third choice striker anyway, so it's not that big of a deal, but we will get to see the rest of the signings in play for the first game. But the sad thing about this will be that for some reason while recording the gameplay, the recording stopped after minute 3 in game, so I only have footage till minute 3. But I can let you guys know that we did not do well in this game, and we ended up losing 3-1 to Dortmund, who scored all the 3 goals in the first half, and our only reply was from Timo Werner, who smashed one in the back of the net in the 75th minute, which puts us in a very bad position in the Premier League table at this point. But it's not too bad since it's the first game and I'm just getting used to playing with the first squad. A beautiful save right there from our goalkeeper. And Borussia Dortmund get this corner and they volley it, I hope, but it goes just right over. And that's the end of the gameplay. So as I told you guys, we lost 3-1 in that game. And here you can see the league table for RB Leipzig. We're in 18th position right now, and it's not looking very good for us, but it was just the first game. There's room to improve. My takeaway from that game was it didn't feel very right in the 4-3-3 attack, probably because my tactics were not in place for the first half mostly, and also because Hudson-Odoi I feel is not experienced enough to be starting a game in a league that will be competitive as this one. And on the right you can see the upcoming fixtures. Next up we go against Inter Milan, which will be a huge game. They are no small team. We are arguably the weakest team in this league at the moment because neither do we have any signings. And also if you look at it from a historical aspect, RB Leipzig has the least amount of history. Well, that seems ironic coming from a Chelsea fan, but believe me, they were only founded in 2009. Anyway, I think we should be good in the midfield, because the midfield was probably okay. We need to work a bit defensively in order to not let the AI score on us, because it's legendary AI. They take every chance that they can. I made a couple of stupid passes and conceded from 2 counterattacks, if I'm not wrong. I remember Marco Reus scored for them, which was of course no surprise considering he's a really good player. But you know what? We are no small team either. We'll bounce back from this defeat. We'll come back stronger and we'll dominate all the teams. The real test will be against Inter Milan, who we face on 19th August. And just in a moment I'm going to show you guys the top half of the table. So we're looking at the top half of the table right now, guys, and Dortmund, who faced us in the first game, they're up top, which means we suffered the worst defeat. Second there's Leverkusen, Barcelona and Napoli. Alright guys, tune in next time to continue on this journey with me. Comment down below what you thought about this episode. In the comment section down below, rate our signing so far out of 10. Do you guys think we sign players that are too young and inexperienced? Or do you guys think we can get through the season and achieve our objectives? Comment any suggestion that you might have. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time. Ciao.